Hello there, and welcome to the world of Caves and Creatures. I'm looking for people to playtest the card game I have created. It's a 100% free game that doesn't require any downloads, there's no hidden strings or anything. This is on Tabletopia, a website designed for board games and board game makers, and people that want to play these board games, and it's a website that I've used to build my card game. I want people to come and playtest this game, and this video is, I suppose it is an advertisement of sorts. It is me showing you roughly what the game is about, a very brief outline of it, and if you are interested, you are more than welcome to come and play it with the community. It's a very basic game on a surface level. You have this board with these different terrains. Different terrains will impact the gameplay in different ways. Forest is no real impact. Ocean instantly kills mechanical creatures. Desert and Tundra each do damage to creatures that move through them. Mountain inhibits movement, but you gain defensive bonuses while on it. Void is an impathable terrain that can't be transformed, or other tiles can't be transformed into Void. And Circles of Power is a terrain that you can put creatures on, they can build up counters, and then you sacrifice those creatures to do damage to your opponent's cave, which is the win condition of the game. Takes place on this tiled board, and you will start the game by picking one of 7 decks, each of which has a leader card. So you see here I've got these 7 different types of decks. I will pick dinosaurs here. I'll take my dinosaurs, I'll put them over here, I'll shuffle my deck, and that's that. And you move on the board physically in tiles to reach the opponent's cave or a circle of power and do damage to this and eventually win the game. So this cave has 30 health, and I might get to here and I might start hitting it. Caves have a damage reduction on them, so they'll reduce all incoming damage by 2, but not below 1. So that kind of means you have to work to do damage, but you are rewarded because caves will take damage over time. So if you played Magic the Gathering, this is a lot like Magic the Gathering on a chessboard, only life actually matters. So once this cave has taken 5 damage, so it's now on 25 health, it will start taking 1 damage every turn. So this damage sticks, and it matters. So every turn you'll just find yourself slowly and slowly and slowly taking that damage. And this is what I think makes my game fantastic. I genuinely think this is a fantastic game. And I know that sounds very big-headed. There's probably another word for it. But this is what I think really makes the game fantastic versus other card games, because the goal matters. If you've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering, you'll know life doesn't really matter. It's just a resource that can't drop below 0, with very rare exceptions. It's just not overly relevant. Whereas in this game, because once you've lost a certain amount of life, you'll start bleeding health, it makes it really matter, and it adds this extra layer of depth to the game where you can't just lose half your health to get an advantage, because you will lose. Once the cave reaches 20 health, you'll start taking 2 damage a turn. So you're very much rewarded for going for the objective. And there's a huge variety of different cards and types of cards. Let me see if I can just draw a hex here. So you've got hexes that harm your opponent, you've got enchantments that typically help yourself, you've got shrines which stay on the board permanently and reap you permanent benefits, and then of course, part of the namesake of the game, creatures that will win the game for you. Creatures are mandatory to winning the game. You have to play creatures near your leader, so your leader's positioning on the board is absolutely vital. And this is the game. The game is you move on the board, and you have to be very selective about what cards you play, where you play them, and managing your mana, which is a resource required to play cards. So this creature here costs 6 mana. I have to put this here, for example, and then I have to pay my 6 mana. Another part of this game that I feel like really sells it, in my opinion, is, that's a poor example, let me just draw a bunch of cards here, is cards give hints as to what they are on the back. So you can see this is a 12 mana creature, which is very expensive. It's the most expensive creature in the game. So your opponent knows this is a threat. Cards giving hints as to what they are adds a layer of decision making. In other card games, you just don't know what your opponent has at all. You can't possibly fathom it unless they drop a hint of some sort. In Caves and Creatures, you roughly know what your opponent's got, but you don't know exactly what they've got. So you know kind of what bases to cover, but you can't perfectly counteract your opponent. This is what I feel sets my game apart from the others. I feel that the information revealed combined with the way that you move on the board and how the resource system works, because there's a resource system that is absolutely vital. You have to store up mana and then you have to spend it on these big creatures, and that is what really sells the game. If that sounds appealing to you, feel free to join the Discord linked in the description and come and play, come and get taught, come and learn, come and play Caves and Creatures and see if it's for you, see if you really enjoy it. I would say it's a game that definitely needs a little bit more polish, but it's a 95% completed game. In terms of design, it's basically there. There's just some very minor balance issues to work out, and some art needs cleaning up, and that's pretty much it. So, if that interests you, feel free to join. I hope to see you in the world of Caves and Creatures.